Hi, thanks for joining me on June 11th. This is my June 11th picture of the day, my daily calendar book. That's what it's describing, today's one, for June 11th. Interesting picture, isn't it? This video is going to be about the three presidents that all share the same age of 74, which is coming up with Donald Trump starting this Sunday, Sun Corona Day. They were all born in 1946. You got Trump first, and then you got George W. Bush, he's in July, and then you'll have Bill Clinton in August. June, July, August. All within 66 days of each other as well. Notice there as well, next oldest are a sizable 22 years their senior. The 22 you'll see later on in the video, the 2 being significant. So the video is going to be about the 3 kings as well, that I'll show in a minute. Presidents, kings, all born 46. And that year apparently was a baby boom year, which I will also get to. 1946, not long after the Second World War had finished. It was the first year in history named as a baby boom time, when everybody started having babies. Apparently it was a fire dog year as well, very interesting. So it's going to be about those. It's also going to be linking in 9/11 and the time that has passed since 9/11 in 2001. Because in the year 2018, so 2 years going back now, on February 14th, that was exactly 6,000 days ago, 6,000 days since 9/11. Thankfully, Zenith of the Alpha channel still has this playlist on there. Very grateful to him for creating that, because it's kept all those videos that I made into a playlist.
Hey, thanks for pressing play.
Which it's not showing there actually. Just need to try and show you the date that I actually started these from.
Video.
There we go. So this is when I realised from watching iPet Goat 2 there was a clear heart connection, which made me think something was going to happen with Valentine's Day, and it then did. That was when I first published the videos, 3 weeks before it. Did a few more, again all leading up to it, and then that last one at the end was when it happened, the Florida shooting. Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School shooting. Notice there, injured 17, death 17. Add those two together, you get 34. Reverse that. You get 43. That's the 14th prime. 14, 7 plus 7, which I'm going to get to later as well. So bear that in mind. 17 as well is also the 7th prime. So it's 7 plus 7 already. See how that works? In primes, 17 is the 7th. 7, 7. Bear that in mind, the 7, 7. So that's just confirmation of, since 9/11, that date of the school shootings was exactly 6,000 days, 144,000 hours. It's like 6 days times 24, that's how many hours there are in a week, 144. Big time number. 12 times 12, obviously. Also the 12th Fibonacci. No coincidences with that. So then I noticed, with the year after, 1 year, 10 days later, after the high school shooting, this date, since 9/11. Again, very significant number there, 153,000 hours since the events of 9/11. 1 year, 10 days after the date I've just showed. So yeah, 1 year, 10 days after this Florida shooting in the high school. Was this one. 24th of February, the year later. Miraculous catch. 153 fish. Fish. And that does, yeah, equal 9/11 in Jewish. Did all sorts of videos on that date. This is where it links in. You've got shooting and fish so far, yeah? The 153 Vesica Pisces. 153,000 hours. They link together as well because a school of fish is a group. School. Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School shooting. It's either called a school when they're all flowing in the same direction, the group of fish. They're all swimming in the same direction, it's a school of fish. Time moves in the same direction. The time since the high school shooting to the 153,000 hours for the miraculous catch of fish, that moved in the same direction, didn't it? Time. Shoal is when there's just a group of fish just together. They're not in the same, they're not all going in the same direction. School. Shooting fish. There's your school. Which then makes me think it's to do with this phrase, shooting fish in a barrel. That's what it means. Something's very easy. Shooting fish in a barrel. Could that be what this is all about? They've done the shooting fish part for the school. We've had the fish date. What's the barrel bit all about? Well, again, I mentioned at the beginning of the video 3 kings for the presidents, which I will get to in a second. Their birthdays. Trump, Clinton, and Bush. 3 presidents, 3 kings, all 74. Gulf War, this movie was about. It's to do with them doing a robbery of the gold. Cache of gold. Okay. Gulf War was also about oil. So you've got oil barrel connection. Shooting fish in a barrel, oil barrel. Oil. That's often referred to as liquid gold, petroleum specifically, petrol. High value in the market, stock markets. Liquid gold, petroleum. Three Kings movie. Cache of gold. So I hope it's making sense so far. Dates since 9/11 is what we're looking at. We've had the school shooting, February 14th. High school. 1 year, 10 days later. 153,000 hours since 9/11. Was the fish date, 153 fish. Vesica Pisces involves 153 in that calculation in mathematics. A group of fish we know is a school of fish. Shooting fish then in a barrel. This bit's still not really happened yet. You could argue that this was all really about that as well. But anyway, following on the date pattern, because it is a pattern, we move on to this date. This is where it starts to come into the presidents and the three kings and their birthdays. Because July 7th this year, that'll be 165,000 hours since 9/11. 165th day of the year, when it's not a leap, is always Donald Trump's birthday. So you've got Donald Trump's birthday straight away with that link. Also, you'll notice 55 plus 55. Already established how this was 1 year, 10 days difference. That equals 110. Add another 55 to that. You get 165. That was the 55th day of the year. It always is. That's the 45th. Difference of 10 as well. 5 plus 5. 5 very much alive still. Notice as well, when you times 55 times 3, you do 3 times 5 first, don't you? 15, 150. Then you do 3 times 5 again for the 15, and you add them two together. 1515 is ISIS. You do digitally 1515, it looks like ISIS when you spell it. So again, we're talking about 55 times 3. You do 3 times 5, don't you, twice, but you add a 0 for the 50 one. So you got two lots of 15. 150 plus the 15. ISIS, that's an S. ISIS. Yeah, hope that's making sense. Well, there's your confirmation of that for the 7th of July. Coming up, 165,000 hours. And that does include the end date as well, actually. July 7th. That's the day after George Bush Jr.'s birthday, 6th of July. That's the first connection. We've already had Trump. 165. That's normally the 165th day of the year. This Sunday is his birthday. Recall at the beginning of the video I was mentioning about 7 and 7. 7th prime, twice there. Matches that July 7th date. The next significant date after July 7th in the pattern is the 10th of November, because that's exactly 7,000 days since 9/11. 7 days of the week. We just spoke about 7. That's 168,000 hours. Very significant, that date. That links to Bill Clinton, the third king, the third president. His birthday being 19th of August. Bill Clinton. 19th of August for Clinton. 168 upside down is 891. 891 backwards is Clinton's birthday, 19th of August. We've already established that's the 168,000 hour point. November 10th. Now then, all three of them 74 years old. That equates to 888 months. 74 times 12. Baby boom boys, BBB. Looks like 8s. It's also 222. 74 times 3 is 222. Again, I haven't got time to show you this on the calculator. 222 plus the 888 months that they'll all be for 74 years old equals 1110. That's that date there. 74 times 3 is the snakes. 222. Add it to the 888 months that they'll all be. Equals 1110.